Pista libera, the track is clear for the first forerunner. Ok, so also 10 minuti alla partenza della gara di Monobob femminile. Bob in pista, Bob in track. Get ready, the second forerunner. Now into fifth, vertice, sliding down into cento, prima curva dei labiristi, in seconda, terza curva dei labiristi, down to Antelao, to vedere, sorry, lago maggior, into the K2, then the straightaway into Antelao, all the way to Cristallo, okay, and down to Sopana. Now at the low line, and then into Ampezzo. And the first forerunner has arrived. Get ready for the second forerunner. get ready for the third forerunner.
Hindsight, I wish the IBSF would have done it. Right? Kind of wish we would have done 5 days, day off before this.
Start of the first forerunner.
Dusted news.
Buongiorno, good morning, welcome to Cortina d'Ampezzo, high in the Italian Dolomites. We are at the home of the 1956 Winter Olympic Games and what will also be the home of the 2026 Winter Olympics. The first World Cup races of the season on a brand new track in a familiar location. Well, familiar to some at any rate. For our drivers, very few of them have competed in Cortina before, but for the rest of them, it's going to be as much of a voyage of discovery because this is not the old track. Martin Haven with alongside me Sylvia Hoffman, and Sylvia, this track is producing already lots of question marks for our drivers.
Oh, definitely, Martin, and thank you for having me on for the first World Cup race of the season for women's monobob. This track is a very beautiful track. It's long. There's lots of details in it. It's technical. It's flowy. There's lots of pressures, especially at the bottom of the hill. But everyone has been taking a like to it. The brakemen as well. We love it here, and I think it's going to be a great start for this World Cup season.
Seems to be tricky in just about every corner, 16 places to make mistakes, but it's really smooth. Everybody has commented, Skeleton and Bobsleigh, how good the ice is here, so that's a really encouraging sign. It does look like it's going to be a tricky track to unlock the secrets of.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And this year I'll be in the back as a brake woman, so it's a little bit different for me, but I get to see so many different angles of this track, and I'm really excited to be here.
That's part of your life. The other part is learning how to drive. So if she goes quiet occasionally, it's Sylvia going, oh, that's really interesting.
That's what I've been feeling.
Yeah, trying to download the data because the video you get during coaching, you know, that's a quick whip around with an iPad. It's not always quite as incisive as a whole run or two down on the TV cameras. Well, the air temperature again down to -3. It was another cold overnight. Ice temperature down to -5, -6. And that's part of what's happened here in the last 2 weeks. Everybody's been trying to learn the track, but every day it's been different. It's been dry, it's been raining, it's been cold, it's been mild. So, you know, it's that alone is throwing in lots of question marks, right?
Oh, man, yeah, and the snow just hit literally on race week. We were in Cortina for some international testing. We were able to test the track. It was really great, nice and sunny, warm outside, and then all of a sudden it starts to rain. It starts to snow. So the ice conditions have been changing pretty drastically over the last week and a half.
Yeah, it's been a different track every day. Now, in our monobob field today, we have 26 athletes. 2 of them drove on the old track, Alana Myers-Taylor and Kaylee Humphries. In fact, Kaylee raced here 3 times, twice as a brakewoman for Helen Upperton and once as a driver. Of course, all of those back in the day when she was still a Canadian athlete, now sliding for the USA. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out here. Particularly the first 3 or 4 corners, really quite technical, and for the monobobs, trying to keep it in a straight line is going to be sketchy. So our crash test dummy is Linda Wajszewski of Poland. The 26-year-old will be the first down and give us an indication not of where the track goes, but of what today's ice is like. And compared to training, I think it's going to be harder and faster. So
most definitely.
Stand back.
And Linda, she's a newer pilot, but she's really good. I got to know her as a pilot the last few years, and she's been doing really well on the circuit, not just in monobob, but also in 2-woman. There we go. There is the start record, 5:56. She is the first sled down, so she gets that glory of having the first start record.
And she'll get a track record as well. There's the first area of difficulty from Striers-Tavertsi, 1 to 2. A tap on the inside. She actually dealt with the first corner of the labyrinth there pretty well. 3 corners in succession here. And this is the third of them. And then straight out of the labyrinth into Belvedere and Bandion. Dropping down through K2, little straight down to the big double combination, Antelau and Cristallo. Cristallo, 2 pressures, 3 presses. It's sort of halfway between in a box.
You really feel that pressure in Antelau and Cristallo.
And then the bottom of the track, 2 long left-handers, the second of which starts the uphill climb. And then through Arrivo, the traditional finish corner. So it's a 60.54 as the first track record. That probably won't stand for very much longer.
Yeah, because we'll have China up next, Ying from China up next, and she is also a phenomenal driver. The Chinese program has been growing over the last several years, especially following the Beijing Games, and they've produced some really great pilots.
Well, this is out of Vertsi and clattering into that wall, just bringing it down a fraction early.
And a lot of pilots were actually having a lot of trouble out of corners 1 and 2 with Striers and Verzi going into Sinto, and they're able to try to get back online into Sinto, but it's still pretty tricky over those first 4 corners.
It's an odd combination of corner numbers and names. Nobody knows where corner 5 is in Samaritz because it's only ever had names. But coaches and athletes are trying to learn the names, but also talking about the numbers. So Yingqing, 28 years of age, 1 monobob medal in her career. Bronze back in Sigulda a couple of years ago.
Let's see if she can get through here. Oh, it's pretty nice. There's a little bit of tap going into Verzi. Sinto, it's nice and quiet. Labyrinth 1. A little issue coming off of that corner. You got Labyrinth 2 and 3. Looking pretty nice on those lines. It's really coming together. Hopefully she can keep these lines nice and clean. K2, a little tap out of there. And now here we go. This is where the fun starts.
And she's got slightly better speed, only 800s back. And if you can carry that speed cleanly all the way up the hill, then that might translate into a narrow lead.
And even though she was really clean at the top, she still has a little bit of slower speed at the bottom. 500s back, falling into second place.
So Yingqing of China her 19th Monobob World Cup race. It's only the third full season of women's monobob with these specific sleds. There were various different iterations of the monobob concept up until 3 years ago. You can see she's trying to hold the nose up and hasn't got the speed, and it just slides down.
Yeah. So that was a lot of speed that was lost in that corner. A couple taps. The taps don't necessarily mean that you're going to lose the speed, but when you skid like that, that's where you lose the speed.
Third up is Maja Voigt of Denmark. Only her second World Cup start. She lowers the start record, 5.40.
Oh, tap going into that second corner with a high skid. High skid. So she may, her runner choice this morning may have been a little off. Like you said, the ice conditions have been changing over the last week and a half. So she did struggle those first couple of corners, but it looks like she's trying to get back online. It looks really nice here.
Second best speed. She's still got a slight advantage, but it's come right down. So all of that speed lost early on in those slow corners will come back to haunt you.
We got Belvedere and a Bandion. Let's see what she can produce here. Nice. Beautiful exit. Look at her shoot that. Yeah.
But the speed's dropped. Third best speed. She's only the third sled, so the gap was 11 hundredths of an advantage. She got a new start record. Does she get a finish record as well? Yes, she does.
Oh, there we go. 2,200 up.
So fun fact about Maja is she actually went for tryouts and had a year as a skeleton pilot before she turned to driving bobsleds.
The one sliding sport I haven't tried yet.
Take the brave pills for that one. Well, when you go to go and do some team trials at the end of the season, get on the sled.
Yeah, so a little tap going into that second corner. High skid, almost roofs it, but she lost a lot of speed there. So hopefully in the second heat she'll be able to come back and clean it up.
She was trying to hold the line. That first corner into the labyrinth really seems to be sort of on-off.
Yes.
Now let's see what Lisa Buchwitz can manage. World Cup champion. Second consecutive World Cup Crystal Globe for Lisa Buchwitz.
Wow, Lisa Buchwitz, 100 bath on the start. It's not like her, but hey, it's the first race of the season. She's getting the handle of everything that's going to come at her.
Yeah, this is all about preparation to try and become the Olympic champion.
Exactly, so she's already 1,600s up.
Shouldn't have a bad first labyrinth. Out to Labyrinth Tray. Down into Belvedere, Bandion. Better speed than anybody we've seen so far. She's got more experience and more winning medals.
Yes, she does. Speed is looking really good right now.
Worth pointing out that unlike in the women's race tomorrow, the Germans, like everybody else, using the same sled. They can use their own choice of runners, but the sled is a control sled.
Cristallo. Here we go. Tofana, the uphill section. Arrivo.
All right, first sub 60, so 59.90 track records for Lisa Buchwitz. Just ducking ahead, using all the tricks of the trade. And think, wow, what difference could it make? But if it makes a difference of 100th, that can literally be the difference between a medal and not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, she lets it climb high, so everybody's going a little higher there, I think, than they're expecting.
Close.
And maybe that's the temperature of the ice.
I mean, the last day of official training, which was Thursday, the ice was definitely different. It was harder. Athletes had to do a little bit something different in those corners.
Yeah, that's about as much as we all know of Italian. Due Capucci, prego. Next up, Deborah Annan of Switzerland. Now, only her 9th World Cup, so she did the full season last year. Made a debut in Altenburg in February 2024 in women's monobob. Altenburg, her favourite track. She actually spent quite a lot of time there as a forerunner and various other training runs.
Yeah, I believe it was both of our World Cup debuts was in Altenburg that year. She's been coming along really well. Strong driver. She likes to fight for it. You can tell the energy that she wants to bring at the start and in the drive. She's really determined to do the best that she can for Switz.
Yeah, Swiss program gaining in strength again, particularly on the women's side with her and Melly Hasler. They've got a really good combination.
A couple skids coming off the corners of the labyrinth. Good. And on. Here we go. A little bit out of K2.
Fifth sled, she's got the lowest speed so far.
Let's see.
Nice straight line as she drops down.
Tufana and Ampezzo. Let's see what she has coming up out of that final corner. All of this is an uphill section now, Martin. So any mistake that they make, they can lose a little time.
Again, that little rub on the wall when you're climbing up the hill, anything that slows you down has a big effect. So 60.37, that's just 500ths behind Maya Voigt. So Deborah Annan in third spot at the moment. Again, Prima Labyrinthi, I think everybody's just getting sent a little higher than they're expecting.
Yeah, the sleds weren't necessarily climbing as much in that international training period. So this week has been a little bit different for everyone.
And of course, they haven't had any training runs this morning. So first time you hit this ice, those first couple of steers, oh, hello.
Yes.
You've got to really calibrate your steering.
And the models typically don't climb as high as the two-mans, but all the sleds have been climbing really high in these corners.
Well, she raced on the old track 3 times in her World Cup career. Kaylee Humphries now gets to drive the new version for the first time in competition. 5:56.
Third best start.
Yep. Reigning Olympic monobob champion.
Yeah, but see, even Kaylee's got a couple skids coming out of those corners, but, I mean, she's been having some really good training runs, so we'll see what she can do at the bottom.
And it's that ability to adjust. The more you do it, the more it seems instinctive. Just you've got the feel of what the sled is doing. Top speed already.
Nice entrance into K2. Just misses the short wall, which is really nice. Able to continue to build that speed. 900s back now with the top speed.
Yeah, she's only going to go green right at the line, but she has got the best speed of all. So it will be a new track record and the lead of the race for Kaylee Humphries. The question is, how much more does she find at the bottom than her rivals?
And there it is.
Okay, just 900s. So the speed won't have been too far away from the others, but just enough to put her into the lead. Wearing goggles, her coach Pierre Luders, when she started driving, he famously wore goggles. She is the only athlete now who still wears goggles with a helmet. Shauna Roebuck with the sled. She used to drive on this track as well.
She's got some videos on Tuffy Latour's page, so that should be pretty cool if you guys go and watch that one.
Yeah, Tuffy was down there helping with the sled. So, yeah, on his Instagram, he's been posting lots of footage of World Cup races here in Cortina, with a bridge over the track, with a jump.
And she's back.
She is back. Now then, Melly Hasler, Deborah Annan currently in 4th place. Here is the #1 Swiss driver. Talk to her a little bit about her back. She had issues with the back over the last couple of seasons. It's pretty much fixed at the moment, but as an athlete, Sylvia Hoffman, you will know that things that are fixed tend to get unfixed before you use them.
Yes. Now, Melanie, she went straight into the green right out of the grooves, and she had a 5:48 start time. So this should be very interesting. Melanie is an amazing pilot for the Swiss team. She already has the top speed at 92 kilometers per hour, and she looks like she's doing really well. And that tap doesn't mean much. Honestly, it doesn't mean that much.
I think so often a tap is much cheaper in terms of lost time than a skid.
Yeah, it was a double bunk. It was really nice. Look at those lines. She's shooting a chicane.
Is she on the same track as everybody else?
Sometimes she finds her own way, and she just lives in the moment.
Well, whatever the runner choice was on her sled today, that worked really well. 59.73. So she outstarted Kaylee by 800ths, and she leads her at the bottom by 800ths.
There it is. She's excited. She's excited.
Well, again, as a pilot, you know when it's flowing, and they say about this a lot, you know, when you get it right, this track is very flowy. When you don't, every corner is an independent little thing you've got to deal with, but that felt good, didn't
And
it?
the Swiss have been doing really well on this track, to be completely honest, the men and the women. I've been very impressed with their driving. I'm like, wow, you guys are crushing it.
Well, maybe if you get views like Samaritz, it brings the best out in I mean, this place.
There she is. She has arrived.
She can't wait. All right, so from Melly Hasler to Lauren Alter, our two-time world champion.
And Olympic champion.
Yeah, Olympic women's bobsleigh champion. She's been the Olympic women's bobsleigh champion. She's been a two-time world champion in monobob. Hasn't taken women's bobsleigh title yet in the world championships. But she clearly can drive both.
Yes. Phenomenal driver as well. A little high out of there. She probably caught it really late, but it looks like she's back on the line. She knows what she's supposed to be doing.
But it has absorbed a little bit of her speed. So she's gone from green to red. 500s up at the start.
Now, these are the moments where we get to see where these athletes can gain and lose speed at this track.
Yeah. And that's going to be the overriding thing now, is every coach, every driver is going to sit and look at all of this video going, okay, so she touched there, what happened next?
Exactly.
And look at the split times and look at the timesheets and try to figure out what costs you and what you can get away with. Is a little bit of a sort of skinny chance. 59.80, second place.
700s back, that is not bad at all.
100th ahead of Kaylee Humphries.
I know she's happy with that in some ways. As a pilot, we all know that we can clean some things up. But again, yes, like she said, so-so.
Comme ci, comme ça, as they don't say in Italy.
She know where she messed up. Her runners are on the woodwork right here, so that is going to create a lot of drag. And she's
just edged around it. But it's frosty up there.
It is frosty.
She's got the smile. That was the smile that went, I got away with that.
Yes.
Did anybody notice? Yeah, we saw. Next up, Brianna Walker of Australia. And from being a 400-meter hurdler to being a genuine medal shot, I think, in Cortina. Bria's been one of the outstanding women's monobob drivers.
Yeah, she has one of the most outstanding coaches, Pierre Luders, behind her as well. They have created a very dynamic duo in between the two.
Yep.
5:48 start time, fourth best start, not too bad, with a velocity of 55.43. Oh, a little trouble out of there coming into Cento. So she has those huge waves, which is going to create unnecessary friction, unnecessary speed loss.
But a good run through Primo Labyrinti. Looked a lot tidier. Fourth best speed, 1500s back.
And we'll see if she can get some of that time that was lost in the first three corners. This is going to be very important. So she has the best speed right now, but now she's 20 hundredths back.
Well, if you carry more speed through the uphill section, it should come back to you, but she's lost a little bit of that speed now. Had brought it back. So this is her versus Lisa Buchwitz maybe for fourth place.
And a revo.
1200s back, so she's 400s behind the bronze medal position of Kaylee Humphries.
Look at that.
And normally, in a women's monobob race, if you're ahead of Lisa Buchwitz, you're likely to be in the medals.
Wow. That means she really has some great drives at the bottom.
So 500 slower than Lauren Alter, who is currently second place. It is a very tightly packed lead group. 1700ths of a second covers 5 sleds. Little tap there into Verzi. And then into Cento. She was a little late on. A little late off.
Exit a K2.
Yeah. That tap again, pretty square tap. No skid after it.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. That is the energy that we need.
There we go. So now then, Cynthia Appiah, silver medalist in Whistler and in Lillehammer. That was the last World Cup race. She was on the podium. Oh, little drift out of the guidelines there. Looks like she didn't quite have her hands on the D-rings. Oh,
few taps.
Whoa. Now,
Coming to the
that's
first
what
few.
our forerunners look like.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's what you meant. Okay. Come on, Cynthia. All right. Let's bring it back, girl. So she had some issues at the top, the first couple of corners, streets to Verzi. She had some skids, but it looks like she's starting to bring it back. She knows what she's supposed to be doing down the hill. They have phenomenal coaches. She knows how to bring it back. Out of K2, a little bit of a staggered double bump tap, which isn't the best double, but 10th best speed.
Yeah, didn't get kicked into big skids like she did in Verzi and Cento. So it's going to be the tail end of the top 10 for Cynthia Appiah. But again, as you heard from Bree Walker, you get a second heat, so you can fix things and tidy them up.
Correct.
The problem is that everybody else can fix
You
things
just
and
have to
tidy
take
them
a
up
deep
as
breath.
well.
Our coaches took a deep breath.
Yeah.
You know, like there's always room for improvement. This track is new for everyone.
Rush and Cripps, the Statler and Waldorf of coaching. Reference for the old folks there. They're the old guys in the booth in the Muppet Show.
Gotcha.
This is tough. This is what's really tough about these first couple of corners is this is the only chance you get to have a feel for the sled and what the steering's doing.
What's going to happen.
And it's blowing your time out of the water.
Yeah. So there's a few taps coming into Verzi and into Cento.
And the problem is there's no time to do anything about that. You just get fired. It is literally like being a pinball. You just get fired from one wall to the other.
Yeah. Our coaches call it just take your medicine.
Yeah. Nothing you can do about that. Now, next up, Keisha Love. Keisha had a fantastic run through the World Championships in Lake Placid at the end of what was a standout season.
Now, that was a good hard push out of Keisha. And let's see. Yeah, there you go, girl. 5:39's new start record. Third best speed for the velocity.
Now, one of the advantages she has as a driver is that coming into Milan Cortina, it's not her first games. And that's really crucial. Her first as a driver, but it's not that first experience. Okay, it's going to be totally different to Beijing, let's hope.
Correct.
Because Beijing was that lockdown, games of weirdness.
And this is a really good drive by Keisha. Even though she's dropping back by a little bit, she's still holding the lead. Let's see if she can hold those speeds going into the bottom few corners.
Long drift down the hill.
And there it is. She's holding that spot at first.
All right, 300s. This is going to be very tight. Mel Hasler with the lead.
That was a good entrance.
Keisha Love needs the track record, does not get it.
100th back.
Yeah.
That was a really good run by Keisha. And the huge start time really helps.
Yeah.
So a couple taps at the top with a huge start like that, where you have the speed, is not going to take that much speed and energy out of the sled. So it's all about that middle section and the bottom section at that point.
There you go. Again,
Pretty
that
high in
Yeah.
Verzi.
Nobody's
down,
really
but-
expecting that, are they?
No. But look how much she corrects it.
Yeah.
She kind of stays off the walls. It's a good drive. Good job, girl.
Yeah. You've got to have soft hands. You don't want to be ripping the sled around.
She's just taking
try
a deep
and
breath there.
Nudge it back. Well, look at this. 1700s now covers the top 6. This is going to be a very tight race because we now have our Olympic silver medalist in monobob and multiple world and Olympic medalist Alana Myers-Taylor. Again, she drove the old track, so she'll know the names, but the feel will be different.
5:56 start. Little tap going into Verzi and out of Verzi into Cento.
Yeah, she is getting flung around.
Now, if you see those runners, the sled is kind of drifting. The entire sled is kind of skidding. But, again, it's Alana Myers-Taylor. She knows how to drive.
Yeah, she's got to get it back. The one thing that you don't get on the new track is the smell of burning rubber and plastic and carbon fiber. The old track didn't have refrigeration in the walls, so it was just frost and concrete. So there was always that smell of fiberglass and carbon fiber a little late there as well. Yeah.
Ampezzo and Tofana.
She was trying to hold the speed all the way through Cristallo and just didn't guide the sled down early enough. So with the same issues that we saw from Cynthia Appiah. She has a similar time, 60.64.
Tough drive for Alana, but
Yeah.
she is a very experienced pilot. And let's see with the start. Nice.
She's in.
Oh,
that's it.
so that sent her
So
in Stries.
Just had her hands on the D-rings, but not quite enough to stop that drift into the wall. And again, these first 4 corners are so close together, roll into each other.
Yeah.
If you're getting sideways into one, you're going to get thrown around.
Yes.
Now, Kim Kalicki, the end of the final training, had to be helped out of the sled. She's been suffering with pneumonia. And unlike anybody else, as an athlete, you can't just take everything in the drugstore for it. So she's been working really hard. And if you can't breathe, it's kind of hard to compete.
Kind of hard. As a pilot and as a brakeman, you have to be able to breathe. You have to be able to slow your heart rate down and just feel like you're okay. And you have a whole helmet on. You have a helmet on, so there's a lot of things that can happen under there.
And apart from anything else, it's the debilitation of that infection as well. She's as weak as a kitten. This is not her favorite discipline, let's be honest, but actually, this is a pretty
she
decent
has
drive.
had the top speeds the entire time, and she's just slowly picking people off.
Yeah.
It's a really nice drive, and this is the first time we've seen her with a not top 1 speed.
Yeah.
So she may end up even holding this position, but she's doing really good for a start time.
13th best start
Look at
out
that.
of 13 sleds, and she's
7th at the
all
line.
right, she's kind of in the little fallow gap between the top 7 and the rest. Her brake women there up in the coach's box. That means she's going to have to shift the sled all on her own. 59.97 run from Kim Kalicki. Again, I can't stress how difficult it must be to compete when you're struggling with pneumonia. Anybody else, get in bed, take the drugs. You just can't do that when it's Olympic season.
I mean, and you know, we're athletes, and as an athlete, we're always going to find a way to get it done. And that is the joys of being in this field and being around so many other high-performing people.
She could not compete and still be in the team for the games. The problem is how you start in the games is based on your World Cup standings. So if you don't do a couple of races, you're going to be way back in the field. Now, what we've seen so far is actually that has not made a difference. The very last slide of the women's skeleton yesterday was the fastest of the day.
The men's as well.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Oh, Katy Bile again pinballing around between Stries, Verzi and Cento, and again a big skid down into the labyrinth.
And mind you, this is the first World Cup race of the season, so a lot of these athletes haven't had too many runs so far to get the season started, but this is all about feeling out the track, what you're going to need for the Olympic Games. Most of the pilots that you see racing today will also be racing at the Olympics.
Well, bringing the speed back, 8th at the start. She's 8th at the moment.
And I'm convinced at this point, as a pilot and a brakeman, that, you know, the top is important, but what I'm seeing here is really good speeds, and these athletes are able to pick people off down the hill.
Yeah. The problem is you can easily give away so much at the top that you
Correct.
then spend your entire time trying to drag it back instead of trying to accelerate away.
And honestly, once you know you've made a mistake, especially at the very top of the hill, you have this instinct of like, I can't mess this up. I have to make sure I have the perfect drive from now on. And she knows that. She knows it. Every pilot that's come down a couple taps, this has been the issues between Stries and Verzi's exit, the first 2 corners, where people have been coming out and hitting just like that. And this is going into the corner 3.
Yeah.
So it's been a problem for the last 3 weeks. And she's trying to haul it off that corner. A little bit of skid, double bunk tap.
I talked to her on Monday in training. She was sliding in Innsbruck on Sunday, so she's been back and forwards across the mountains to and from Innsbruck as well. So next up, Melissa Lottholz of Canada, 9th World Cup start for her. Made a debut in Altenburg, December 24.
Now, Mel is also a really big pusher. I enjoyed competing alongside of her on the lower circuit and then going into the World Cup circuit. She's been doing phenomenal since she's been back here. Really top pilot for Canada. She came back to kind of help the team out, and they have been doing really well. Look at that exit.
And she had big height there, but actually it came down nicely for her.
Yeah, it didn't. It kind of spit her out almost perfectly.
Yeah.
She almost got it. But look at this. Just look at this drive.
She would go, I meant that.
Yeah, I meant to
Now,
do that.
the thing is, can I repeat that? Can I use that height?
Because you can.
Yeah.
Depending on how your exit is, you can definitely use those heights to spit you out perfectly. Sometimes you don't have enough pressure, so that's the only risk.
Speed's coming. Top 5 speed. 8th at the start.
Oh, there it is. See, you see that? We'll see what that produces. That's what every coach is going to be looking at now.
Yeah. Trying to read this track on negligible experience. 60.06, 300s ahead of Katy Beil. So we are looking at some very, very close battles. We've got the top 6 covered by 1700s. And then Kim Kalicki a little bit in no man's land, about a 10th behind her, Melissa Lottholtz and Katy Beil, 300s apart. That's a dead heat.
Yeah.
Then we've got 500s, 10th to 11th, Maya Voigt and Deborah Annan. So very, very close racing. This is going to be a great track, not just for the games, but for the future. It's challenging, it's rewarding.
Yes.
It messes with your head. It's everything you want in sport. None of it's easy. And if you're watching this at home thinking, I could do that, you could do this. You just can't do it as well as these women.
Now we have 1 Swiss pilot, 2 USA pilots of German and Austria, top 5 right now. We have France, Margot Bach at the line.
Yeah.
I love her to death. She's just an amazing person. She works so hard, and she is one of the most consistent pilots in the field.
5:55 for Margot.
Top 10 start time, 3rd best velocity.
Coached by Bruno Mijon, who was a World Championship medalist on this track. Bruno's son has started competing as well.
Wow,
Raced
look at
yesterday
that
in
exit.
skeleton for France.
Good
There
for
you go,
them.
yeah. 2700s back, but look at this, 4th best speed.
Now, I think this is a beautiful run. Personally, I've just been watching this run, and it looks nice.
Second best speed. Now, she doesn't have a start, but she's got great driving ability. Oh, there you go. That was the curse of the commentator, wasn't it? Wow.
It was going so well.
It was. 10th at the start. She was up to 7th. She had 2nd best speed. It'll be about 8th or 9th best speed at the line. Okay, 8th place. Well, she lost a spot. There's Bruno on the left-hand side.
Yeah. Now, I think that she probably would have been a little bit closer to where Kim Kalicki was at her downtime if it wasn't for those few taps in that last straightaway. But
so 8th, 9th, and 10th.
We are good here.
300ths of a second, 400ths of a second covering those 3 sleds. So she just kind of skated here.
I think she missed bumping right before Sento, and that was really nice.
But this big skid down into Tofana, just as I've been praising her. She has got great ability to feel the ice. She's got soft hands. She just drives well. But again, she's always trying to chase after the start. Now, I'm not allowed to say the bouge, so this is not the bouge. This is
Kristen Bouge-Nowski.
She told me off. Everybody else says bouge. Why do you say the bouge? So it's just to annoy you. 5:51 getaway for Kristen, making her World Cup debut in the front seat. So she was a great brake woman for Canada. She's been learning to drive over the last few years. Same as Cynthia up here, same as Melissa Lottholtz. Just a couple of years behind in the cycle. And again, nice smooth lines from Booth and rewarded with a top 5 speed.
Rewarded with the top 5 speed.
Off a top 10 start. So that helps to pull you up the order. Little square tap. Right, up to 7th on the split, but...
And I just enjoyed watching some of my competitors just compete, and they've been working so hard. All of us do. And to see what they can produce out of things has just been amazing.
Well, I don't know where that speed went, but you've seen her now just slip back down the order, 60.03.
I think 8 is the magic number. Everyone that has come down has come into 8th.
So we've had the last 4 sleds, a 60.09, 06, 05, 03. That's pretty darn close with those 4.
It's going to be an amazing second heat.
So welcome to the World Cup, Bouge.
A little tap going into the second corner, which is Verzi. And she's coming around, and then that also. So typically what I've been seeing is when you tap like that coming out of the first corner or 2, there's some issues that go into Cento, which is corner 3.
Yeah, absolutely right. Nothing happens in isolation on these tracks. So Kristen Buchnowski makes her debut in the World Cup. She was in the World Championships, had a really good run to 7th in the Worlds in Lake Placid. Kelly van Petegem, 12th World Cup race for her. She made her debut in Innsbruck back in February 2 years ago. And her best result, a top 10 finish in the last World Cup of last season, Lillehammer Race 2. Finished in 10th spot. 5:58 getaway. Former brakewoman for the driver who is now her coach, Anna Nieuwenhuis.
Now, Kelly, she is a unique pilot. And she may not have the best starts every now and then, but when I tell you, she can drive. She's a really great driver.
Yeah. Nice
little skid going into there.
But didn't try and steer out of it, took the tap, allowed it to straighten her up.
Yeah. The labyrinth is a special place. Usually most labyrinths on most tracks, you can kind of start to get back online, figure out what you need to do for the next corner so it's not a collateral damage of bleeding time going all the way down. Just 13th best speed.
Yeah, started 16th. She's out driving her stars at the moment. She was 13th earlier on.
Which is always the goal.
Little skid there going uphill, up to 14th on the splits. And ducks ahead across the line, 14th, 60.52. So she is just behind Deborah Annan, ahead of Linda Wyszewski, Ying Ching, and Alana Myers-Taylor and Cynthia Appiah as well. So that shows you what this track can do to you.
Yes.
That Alana is out the back door in 17th at the moment.
Well, it was the same thing in Skeleton yesterday. There were people with #1 start times, #2 start times, and they fell back behind top 10. But Kelly was able to, get a better downtime than her start time, which is what most of us shoot for.
Yeah, that's hard if you're starting #1. But, you know, anything other than that. Now, we've had one rookie. Here is our second debutante, Inola Blatti, a sprinter and hurdler from Switzerland, 27 years old. Started sliding in 2021. She is the reigning Europe Cup champion in women's monobob. So she had 4 wins from 7 starts last year in the junior category. So this is very much the future for Swiss bobsledding, and actually, you can see why she was winning races last year. This is quite nice control. Started 11th, drove herself up into 9th place, but lots of skids, has taken speed out of the sled, and you see that on the right.
Has dropped back from 9th to 13th. But hopefully she can hold this spot. A few waves going into there. Now we have the chicane.
Well, one of the first things to mention is that on your debut here, new track, lots and lots of big names around you, all of the pressure of the pre-Olympics. This is very, very different from anything she's experienced before in terms of the pressure on the athlete. So just to have that first run nerves out of the way, I imagine she's going to be showing us a bit of an improvement in the second heat. 15th, that's not a bad place to start. Again, Alana Myers-Taylor, 2 sleds behind you.
And honestly, when we visit these new tracks like this, it is about who can learn it the fastest for that first race.
Yeah.
But then it comes down to when you come back to the track, what actually is starting to click now. Because sometimes you can come back and everything makes sense, but it may not have made sense 2 months prior.
There she is, big smile on her face. Good stuff. 2 debutantes. And back to Great Britain's Adele Nichol, Adele, 29 years of age. 2 ninth place finishes in Innsbruck and last time out in Lillehammer. Graham Richardson on the left of your picture, Sean Olsen on the right. Both have competed on this track. Graham's even commentated on this track. I know, that's how old he is. 5:64 getaway for Adele. Still struggling with fitness at the beginning of the season. And
A lot of taps. There's a lot of speed.
And the problem there in Strias Versi Cento is you take one tap, there's nowhere to straighten it up. You're just straight into the next wall.
Because there is a luge start right there, so there's a little bit more space for that sled to get offline and out of the track.
You just get fired from wall to wall to wall.
But here we go. We'll double tap. A couple taps going into there. Let's see what she can come out with.
Smooth exit out of Cristallo, but the speed is just being sucked out of the sled in those first 2 or 3 corners.
Right here, she's really just trying to make sure that she stays on the line.
Yeah.
She knows she made the mistakes at the top, but at the end of the day, like, she's trying to learn the track. She's doing her best, and she is a newer pilot in the field. So she started driving when I did about 3 years ago, right after the Olympics for Beijing 2022. But Adele has been doing really well these last 3 years. So I think that whenever we come back, she might be able to do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Plus, we have 2-man tomorrow, so 2-man is always a little bit different in monobob.
Yep.
2 different fields. So we see that she has like some skids going to corner 2. She got knocked away, which causes you to really get off that fine line. And now she's having some issues on the exit going into Cento, which is corner 3.
Yep. And again, same as Alana Myers-Taylor, same as Cynthia Appiah, just ripping the speed out of the sled, all those skids, and you're powerless to bring it back. So first 20 sleds down in our field of 26. The fastest 20 go through. So we're now looking at Adele Nicol, Cynthia Appiah, and Alana Myers-Taylor as potentially being in the drop zone. So what about Patricia Tatnarova from the Czech Republic, her 3rd World Cup start in women's monobob?
5:65. Big hit. So she also gets knocked away from corner 2.
Yeah.
Which kind of sets her up a little bit off for Cento, which is corner 3. Now here we are going into the labyrinth. Still getting a lot of skids in there. Hopefully she can straighten it up.
Raced in Altenburg last December, missed the cut. Raced in Winterberg on January, made the cut in 20th place. So she has a 50% start to finish record in the top 20. Tidying it up. This is the same as our other unfortunate.
Big hit going into Tufana. Big hit.
It's trying to limit the damage, isn't it? Once you've lost that speed early on. Still in 20th place. So Adele Nicol currently in 20th, will be the first to go. If Patricia can hang on to the top 20 spot, she'll be in the drop zone. And she does. So Adele Nicol does not get a second heat.
And that was only by a...
Yeah.
So the Czech Republic, they are in for their second heat, but they are still in that drop zone, as you were mentioning before. We do have a few more sleds left, about 5 more sleds, 6 more sleds.
Yeah, and we've got a couple.
5 more.
Yeah, a couple who've definitely got the potential to make it into the top 20. Again, that little contact with the short wall, just getting nudged away, and you pay for it on the exit. And the same as Adele.
Uphill section right there. So she lost a little bit more speed going to that final corner, but she was able to get it done and get in.
Youth Olympic champion in monobob in 2020 in Samoritz, Georgeta Popescu of Romania. Made her World Cup debut in Altenburg at the beginning of the winter a couple of years ago. And a top 12 result in Winterberg is her best monobob race. So starting 21st, work to do.
Yes, so she had start time of 5:73, 22nd best start time, but she's also the 22nd sled off. So if she can keep a good run together, she may be able to make that cut for the second heat.
In the top 20, into 19th, and 6th best speed again.
Look at her go.
Nothing wrong with the track. It's, if you are clean, it's giving you the speed.
Yep, nice double tap out of there. And now here we go.
Up to 18th, so she's ahead of Alana. Next target, Yingqing of China, who's in 17th place. 9th best speed again.
Cortina into Ampezzo. She is really putting together a run right now. She knows what's at stake. She wants to have a second heat.
And
19th.
she's 19th. All right, she slipped behind Alana Myers-Taylor by 0.03 of a second. So 60.67, and that pushes Patricia Taknarova of the Czech Republic out. And Cynthia Appiah is now hanging by a thread. She is in the drop zone in 20th. Well, so Georgetta up to 18th towards the bottom of the run. A little skid here. This is in Cristallo. She just had a little skid coming on. And that's enough to take a spot away.
She knows where she is. She is happy for right now, but she will be crossing her fingers for the next few runs.
Yeah, she's 19th. Lea Hasselwanter of Austria, she's got the potential as well. A hammer thrower. It's only her 6th Monobob World Cup start. But World Cup best result of 15th in Innsbruck. Okay, her home track, but nevertheless.
And she knows she has to bring it on this. Every sled that comes after, they know they have to bring it. A little skid was actually pretty big coming out of the first couple of corners, but honestly, we have seen a lot more. Yep. So, let's see what she can produce.
Whoa,
nice snap
there.
off of that corner.
No wonder your neck needs a bit of work after these runs.
Now, it looks like it's a pretty decent run, but also she has a lot of skids, and it's really high off those exits. So that's going to actually produce more friction as she's trying to fight the pressure of hitting the next short wall coming out of that exit.
Well,
so another high exit.
Yeah, she did have 15th best speed, but that has gone. 21st speed. She's the 23rd sled. So Cynthia Appiah is going to hang on, I think, for at least another 2 minutes. Lea Hasselwanter, as you say, when you start outside the top 20, you're already under pressure. Go fast or go home, because you've got to earn the place. Benny Meyer there with the coaching. So I haven't seen Benny before, actually. So he's here.
And it looked like she was letting it fly in some places. So there was a little less control. So maybe it was her runner choices for this morning. The runners are the metal that touches the ice. If it's really smooth or really fat, you could lose a lot of grip, which is steering. But most of the time when you have more friction, you go slower. So a lot of athletes will try to go fatter runners to produce less friction, but you lose control at the end of it.
Yeah, it's a balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's how little steering versus how much speed. And the perverse thing, which is the last thing you want, is the faster you're going, the less control you have.
Life on the edge, Martin.
Okay, 3 to go. Sarah Blizzard from Australia making her 9th Monobob World Cup start. And she'll be racing in the women's race tomorrow as well. 5:66, so 100th quicker than we've just seen from Lea Hasselwanter.
Nice entrance in the corner, too.
So 22nd best start. And if you're clean through to Prima Labyrinthi, then you have kind of got out of the first trap on this track.
Nice, and she's going through the labyrinth. It's really quiet. That's what we want here at the top of the hill.
19th place, but the speed ebbing away, 21st best speed.
And maybe she's driving a little bit too much. Too much driving can also create the friction, which will take the speed out of your sled.
Now it's reversed. She's out to 21st place, but she's got 19th best speed coming into Antelau and Cristallo. Little tappy run down out of Cristallo into Tofana. And I'm afraid that is probably going to see her drop out of contention. Again, little high from Tofana into Ampezzo and Arrivo, and it's a 61.07. Desi, her brake woman, on the right, and Anne van Nieuwenhuis on the left. So Sarah Blizzard 22nd, doesn't get a second heat. Lea Hasselwanter 21st. Cynthia Appiah clinging on, 2 sleds to go. And actually for Cynthia, I think the danger is in the last sled on the entry.
And Ming from China, she is a phenomenal driver as well. It could be that same situation we saw with Skeleton, where one of the best pilots are at the end of the order in the first heat, and they're able to come back.
Don't just
ride.
Loving that.
I like that. So we have
Simi
Nigeria.
Adiagbo, coached by the great Sandra Kiriasis, representing Nigeria, a former track and field athlete. She also slid skeleton for Nigeria for at least one Olympic cycle before taking up bobsleigh.
And she, I believe, she got the start record in Altenburg one day, I believe, in monobob. So she is a big starter.
Yeah.
569, she had a few little issues getting into the sled there, but let's see what type of drive she can put together.
Again,
Now, there were some issues in training some days ago, but we'll see if she's able to straighten it back up.
now
Really
that-
high, roofs it.
Yeah. That's the real danger in Primo Labyrinthi, is getting right up high and just getting rattled off the woodwork. Haven't seen anybody crash there yet, but you can see from the stripes in the track, somebody has been over recently. It's all about learning the track, learning the vagaries of this place and trying to unlock some of the speed in the sled. Little tap going down into Tofana.
And they'll start learning what types of equipment they can use as well.
Yeah. And again, as with the men jumping from a two-man to a four-man, the women have to split their training between the monobob and the two-seat sled. There's Sandra Kiriasis on the left of your shot. A 62.76, so no second heat for Simi.
Her visor is very foggy, so that could have also blurred the vision as she was going down the hill. Sometimes our visors can get pretty foggy in there, and it's really tough to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, she really roofs it and comes around, but she was able to save it, so that's the biggest thing.
Yep.
But even there, you can kind of see that she can't necessarily see that well, so that could be a thing.
terrifying moment. Yeah, if the visor misses up, not being able to see where you're going is pretty critical.
Oh, I've been through there. It's tough. It's tough when it snows. It's tough when it blurs.
So, final sled in our first heat of two is Wai Mingming of China, the 30-year-old in her 9th World Cup start. Best of 8th place in Sigulda.
I was about to say Sigulda. She had a really good race there.
And she is the danger for Cynthia Appiah. If she gets clean into the labyrinth, then I think Cynthia will not get a second trip.
A 5:57 start. 16th best velocity. Ooh, comes into the second corner really nice. And she has a bit of a wave into Cento, but again, all she has to do is put this run together.
Yeah. Not overdrive it here. 14th out to 16th place.
Yep, little tap, it'll be fine.
Out to 18th place, but she hasn't got much speed. Those skids take a lot out of the sled.
Yes.
Now
So no tap in that exit of K2 like we saw some of the other sleds, but she was able to come out there clean. Right now, we'll come up against 22nd best speed.
Heading the wrong way there. Tofano went left, the sled was going right.
And she has now dropped back into 21st.
Yeah. So I think Cynthia Appiah might just about be able to breathe easy. Yes, she is. 61.01 for Wai Mingming. So the speed just dropping out of the sled all the way down. By the time she got into the labyrinth, she was up into 14th place on the splits. Ends up in 22nd. So no second heat for Wai. No for Leah Hasselvanter, and Cynthia Appiah is 20th. She will get another run. Why, looks like she's had the wind knocked out of her with a couple of those whips off the corner.
Yeah, with monobob, you do have a lot less control in the sled, so a lot of the ladies like to put the weight in the back of the sled because there's no brakeman back there anymore to actually be able to control the sled a little bit more. But she's doing her best there, and again, it could be equipment choice. And that makes all the difference. But she'll know what to do for two-man tomorrow. It's a different beast. And she looks like she's happy that she just made it down. She's like, I'll do this again.
All right, so who had this on their lottery card? Our first heat leader is Melanie Hasler. So the Swiss having a really good run from the middle of the top 10. Started in, came out 7th. 2 silver medals so far in her career. In La Plan and Winterberg. Another woman. She is really fired up for this.
Really fired up. Let's see what our standings are after
Well,
this.
listen, I mean, pick one of the top 6 for the medals, because 1700s in a 2-man sled, that's close. In a monobob, that's a near dead heat between all 6 of them. Just behind Kilicki, and then Bouge on her debut, 8th place, ahead of Margot Bock in 9th, and Melissa Lott Holtz in 10th. Katie Bile just behind her in 11th. Little battle between Maya Voigt and Deborah Annan. And then, deep breath, Kelly van Pettigem, rookie Enola Blatti, Linda Wyszewski, Ying Ching of China, Alana Myers-Taylor is definitely looking to jump over them. Georgetta Popescu on her heels. And then Cynthia Appiah will be the first down in the second heat. So
This was one big heat here at the Cortina track. It's going to be the same at the Olympics. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be good. They will be back on ice. We'll be back with them at 10:30 local, 09:30 GMT. And that's the surprisingly nice time of 04:30 Eastern. That's in just half an hour from now.
Wow!